Hey, good morning. It's because Mama said so. And I just wanted to say good morning. And I also wanted to say thank you so much to all the people that are going on this journey with me. I have loved the feedback of what this experience has been like for you, what you're learning from your shadow work journal, the questions that you have. I'm really enjoying going on this journey with you. And so today we are going to go to page 65 is what we're going to be on. And it is a fill in the box page. And it says that we are shaped by our experiences. Reflective writing prompts will guide you toward understanding who you are and why. And so this section actually starts the beginning of, like, it's got to be like 100 pages of writing prompts. Things like, your parents, secrets, how you feel about yourself, self-image, all that kind of stuff. I will not be going through those with you guys simply because I don't want to influence what you write down. I want you to just write down what you feel like is in your heart, but I don't want you to feel like, oh, well, Leslie wrote this, and so that's what I should write. I want you to be able to authentically do it. But on page 65 today, there's the fill in the box, and there's 4 questions. And so before I start these 4 questions, I think that it's important that we talk about something called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance, and I will actually put the definition on the screen. But cognitive dissonance is basically where you say with your mouth that you believe one thing. You say something is important, but your life and your actions don't meet up with that. So there's like there's a break there. Like, you say, I care for the homeless, but you haven't done anything for the homeless since Nam. So you say you care for the homeless, but you haven't actually done anything for them. That's what's called cognitive dissonance. And I know Carl Jung basically said that can cause so much turmoil in your brain and actually contributes to your shadow self, that part of you that's not functioning well. So I'm going to put the definition of that up there. But here's the 4 questions, and I'll explain why I went over cognitive dissonance during these 4 boxes, because I discovered I have a whole heck of a lot of it. So the first question is, do I feel guilty if I put my needs first? And so when I try, you want to believe that, no, I put myself first. I can do that. I know I can't pour from an empty cup and all of the, cliche glitter speech and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes, especially when it comes to my kids, I really struggle with not putting myself first. And so here's the thing. When you're a parent, I know that there's a certain amount of sacrifice that needs to be made. And so it's understood that you're probably going to put yourself before your children, or put your children before yourself. And so that's not necessarily unusual. The problem is if it's all the time, and the problem is also if you do put yourself before your kids because you need it, like you need time to yourself, or there's a place in the budget where you take some of the finances and do something for yourself. That can be tough, or at least it is for me. And so, we live in a kid-first society. Our schedules are wrapped around whether or not, they get to do what they want to do, their sports, their piano, their this. We are so terrified that our kids are not going to be competitive that we spend all of our time on them. I don't know that that's necessarily a healthy thing to teach children, that they're the center of the universe. Now, I will say this. I tell my children all the time, you are my favorite thing in the world. I tell them all the time, oh my gosh, I feel so bad for all the other moms out there because they don't get to have you as their kids. Oh, it's just crushing. And they laugh and they giggle and everything like that. But I think it's important for us to model putting ourselves first during particular times. When it comes to finances, there's definitely been times where I have done without, or I have rearranged money that was supposed to go to something else and maybe even something more practical, but I wanted to create an experience for my children. And so, do I feel guilty? Sometimes. Sometimes I do. How important is my own happiness? Now, this is where cognitive dissonance really hit me hard. It's really important to me, but I really don't work very hard towards it. It's like I'm busy, I've got things going on, I want to accomplish all of these goals and stuff like that. And not to say that the things that I'm doing, like my job, I love my job. I love my family. I enjoy spending time with them. But the things that make me happy, like the things that make my mama heart happy are things like I love to read, I love to cook, I love to paint, I love art, I love, all that kind of stuff. But I don't find myself doing some of those things very often. And so cognitive dissonance, I'm saying happiness is important, but am I really pursuing it and making it a priority? It's food for thought. In what ways do I show love to myself? Doing this book is one way that I am showing love to myself, because it's taking time to really dig into me and find out what's going on with me and why, I might have different problems and stuff like that. I also see a therapist. I'm needing to right now, especially, and that is something that I do for myself and put myself first, because therapists are not very inexpensive, and I recognize that not everybody can afford a therapist, which is why I love this book, because I feel like this is really good $20 good therapy. But I'm doing this book. I prioritize sleep. I really do. I try and go to bed by like 10 o'clock. I laugh. There's this meme that says I'm at the age where my kids tuck me in and just continue doing whatever they want to do. My oldest two are 19 and 18, and so they're doing their thing, and they're in and out, And then my daughter Scarlett is 8, and sometimes she'll come hop in bed with us and fall asleep, or sometimes she'll fall asleep in her bed. But we get her into bed within enough time for us to fall asleep, because 8 hours of sleep for me is critical. And if I don't get it, you can tell, because I look mean. I look real mean. And it also triggers my migraines if I don't have enough sleep. So that's something that I do. I also have a skincare routine that I do. I'll show you I have a skincare routine. I love this. It's called Vassar Beauty. Brittany Vassar, she's here on YouTube. I'm not sponsored or anything, but it's probably the best skincare I've ever used. I love it. So that's something that I do for myself. And the last thing on here is I think I still need to work on, and I know for me, it's going to be my inner language that I have with myself. I am extremely hard on myself. Like, I say things to myself in my own brain that I would never in a million years say to another human being, because I would feel like such a jerk. But I say them to myself. Like, if I do something, embarrassing, I'm like, oh, you're so stupid. I'm saying it out loud because it's the truth, or, I look in the mirror, and if I'm like, oh, I feel so fat, or I think, different negative things about myself, about my body, about my brain, about the things that I'm able to do. And that's so not good, and it's so not healthy. And again, it's cognitive dissonance, because I believe that we are supposed to have positive affirmations for ourselves, that we are supposed to be the kindest, softest, warmest place for us to fall. And I'm not very good at that, and that's something I need to work on. The other thing is a well-rounded routine. So, I prioritize sleep, and, I have my skincare routine, and I have therapy, I have things that I'm doing for myself. But I really wish, I probably shouldn't say wish. It reminds me of that grumpier old man. You can wish in one hand and, in the other, and see which one fills up first. But I would love to have more of a consistent diet and exercise routine. I try and drink enough water and all that kind of stuff. And it's so funny, because during the school year, I found that I drank a lot of water. And then during the summer, it was like my water bottle just disappeared. Like, no more water bottle. But that is page 65. That is the fill in the box. If you have any thoughts or comments about that, I would love to hear them. I'd love to chat in the comments. Please take care of yourself. You are precious cargo. And why? Because Mama said so.